The consigliere running it is our own Congressman Peter King. Had a slow start, but they're now beginning to get their traction with a month to go. Remember, it's February 13th. So less than a month to go. And they are really starting to gain traction. In a Emerson College WPIX Channel 11 poll. By the way, I'm familiar with this because during the mayoral elections, these were heavily bent towards the liberals. When you looked at all of the keynotes to the polls. So this is not done by the GOP. This is not by the McLaughlin Group. This is not done by the Democratic Party of Jacobs, who's the chairman, who's based in Long Island. This is a good reflection of what the race is at now. 45% of registered voters in Nassau County and Eastern Queens say that they would vote for Suozzi tomorrow. 42% for Mazi. Now, this is incredible because Suozzi, who's better known, 43% unfavorables. Mazi, only 36% unfavorables. Now, it is very difficult to take an unfavorable person in a poll and suddenly turn them into a supporter. So that's about 43% of the people who are dead set against Suozzi under any circumstance. That is horrible. Secondly, the survey has found that all the support that Suozzi would expect to have from a district when he ran in the Trump year, which Trump lost 2020, that there would be some coattails from President Biden and some coattails from Kathy Hochul. No. In that same district, there's only a 33% approval rating for President Joe Biden and only 25% approval rating for Kathy Crime Wave Hochul. This poll clearly shows the momentum is with Mazi. And most importantly, there is a group here that I'm very familiar with because I was the first Republican ever running for mayor to win this group, vote in the election, the Asian vote. The Congressman Lee Zeldin, who ran against Kathy Crime Wave Hochul, he won the Asian vote. But at this particular point, it appears that Suozzi would have the Asian vote by 2-1, 60% at 25%. That can change radically. That vote alone could guarantee Mazi becomes the next congresswoman representing that area, meaning that all of Long Island will remain red and it will not be Suozzi blue. And again, we have like less than a month in his campaign. And you know that the Suozzi people are getting nervous. I'll tell you why they're getting nervous. The other day, instead of minding their own business and running their own campaign where they've been unmolested, they opened up a campaign headquarters in Great Neck. That's right in Mazi's backyard. Nobody who came to disrupt them, interfere with them. Vicky Palladino was hosting a rally on behalf of Mazi, which she attended with Congressman Peter King. It was in the American Legion Hall in Whitestone, a sacred, just a place that has memorialized so many who came from Whitestone, who served in peace, who served in war, many of whom ended up being sacrificed to preserve our liberty and freedoms. A group of DSA, Hamas supporters, Houthi supporters, infiltrated into the crowd. The crowd was packed, and they disrupted Mazi. Now, Vicky Palladino, the city councilwoman, spoke. Nobody interfered with her. Peter King spoke. Nobody interfered with him. But then when Mazi took to the microphone, she was just like 5 seconds into her speech when the Hamas crazies stood up, went right to the stage, and wanted to challenge her.
It makes me very, very upset. How dare?
When will America stop fighting?
There were about 5 Hamas supporters embedded in the crowd. They were eventually driven out into the street. But what is interesting, Justin Ellick, on the social networking of the Democratic Socialists of America, led by AOC, all-out crazy Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, queen of the Socialists of America, they are praising what their members did to disrupt this meeting, the Hamas supporters. And it's interesting because the Mazi campaign has touched a nerve. They are playing a commercial now that is being aired on television, radio, cable outlets, and digital. I'm just going to play a little smidgen of it. You will hear it. You probably have heard it a few times already right here at WABC.
This crossword is killing me. 6-letter word for dangerously weak?
Suozzi.
And it goes on and on. It labels him Sanctuary Suozzi. Because in the debate against Kathy Crime Wave Holcomb, when Jumaane Williams, the public advocate, was challenging her from the left and Suozzi was challenging her from the right to become the Democratic nominee to take on the ultimate winner of the Republican primary, Lee Zeldin, a man who was so proud that he kicked ICE out of Nassau County when he was Nassau County executive. Suozzi was bragging about it.
When I was county executive in Nassau County, I kicked ICE out of Nassau County. When I was county executive in Nassau County, I kicked ICE out of Nassau County. When I was county executive in Nassau County, I kicked ICE out of Nassau County. When I was county executive in Nassau County, I kicked ICE out of Nassau County.
And what happened, Tom Suozzi? You kicked ICE out, and all of a sudden, MS-13 came flooding in. And it wasn't until Peter King, the congressman representing Central Islip and Brentwood in that area, invited in President Donald Trump, Attorney General Jeff Sessions on Air Force One. They landed out in Long Island. They went right to the courthouse at Central Islip. And the president and the attorney general put together the plan to render MS-13 impotent. Up until then, they were slaughtering people. They were taking them into parks with machetes, chopping them up, burying their remains right there, threatening people. They were forced to be reckoned with because Tom Suozzi so proudly says he kicked ICE out of Nassau County. But worse yet, his teammate in this effort, at the time, 2014, was Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo, King Cuomo II, the son of Mario Faccia Brutta Cuomo, King Cuomo I, the governor of the state of New York, Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo.
New York State is the state that says we will not cooperate with ICE. They're a bunch of thugs. He politicized ICE. They're a bunch of thugs. We said we will sue them if they violate any criminal laws in the state of New York.
Hear that clearly. Suozzi was part of that cabal to kick ICE out of Nassau County, out of Long Island, that allowed MS-13 to become the number one street gang throughout Suffolk County and Nassau County. He joined with Cuomo on that. And now he's being called Sanctuary Suozzi. And it's clear, according to this poll, that that is resonating with the voters there, who are going to forget whatever George Santos' stain was on the 3rd Congressional District. But if the election were to occur tomorrow, it looks like the momentum is now with Team Mazi. Because of this commercial, Sanctuary Suozzi, because Tom Suozzi has supported congestion pricing, which would kill his constituents. But most importantly, because Tom Suozzi was given an opportunity to denounce the DSA Hamas supporters in the Democratic Party who stormed like Nazi brown shirts a meeting in the American Legion to allow the voters of Whitestone to hear a candidate who was born and raised in Ethiopia, brought to Israel, rescued by the Israelis because of her Jewish background, who became a member of the IDF, married a Ukrainian doctor who was there as they went to the University of Haifa, and then came to Great Neck, where they're raising a family of 7, and she serves in the county legislature. He did not denounce them. In fact, he seemed to make fun of those who were asking him to denounce the DSA for committing that kind of an act in such hallowed ground, an American Legion Hall. Nope, Suozzi is quiet. So guess what, Suozzi? Strike one, you're sanctuary Suozzi. Strike two, you're pro-congestion pricing. And strike three, you're like an appendage tied to the squad, the DSA, and AOC all-out crazy Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, queen of the socialists of America.